Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Season 13, week number 8. We are about halfway through the season here, a little bit more than halfway through this season, and we have an exciting matchup this afternoon. Resurgence versus Peacekeepers. Peacekeepers, so far, in regular season, undefeated. They have not lost a single game. Their opponents that they have faced include teams like Legacy, Animal House, Dark Tidings, Error 404. They've beaten Resurgence. We'll talk more about that game in a second. Notorious and Pantheon. They have not lost a single game all season. Every single league match they've played, they have won. No challenges in there, so they're not going over the 8 games that they do have to play throughout the regular season, but they're winning, and they're doing it pretty dang consistently. And to the point of that Resurgence loss, Resurgence actually beat Peacekeepers in rounds 1, 10-9. It did come down 3-4, 3-4 for those first 2 maps, and then they beat them in map 3, 4-1. And so Resurgence, very capable of challenging this Peacekeepers team today, and I think if there's going to be any squad that Peacekeepers are concerned about potentially taking an L to, it is going to be Resurgence. I am intrigued to see how we start things off here, especially with the map selection, but let's get into that as our pick bans for the afternoon. Coming in from Peacekeepers, they have a Abandoned ban, and from Resurgence, the Quarantine ban. Coming in for map number 1, not necessarily represented properly, but is going to be our Night. I will obviously have the night vision filter on for this, but yeah, we are headed to a night map to kick things off here between Peacekeepers and Resurgence, trying to shake things up a little bit, maybe pull in some night vision, try and throw up that, shake up the utility usage a little bit, especially with the recent patch into how points are attributed to certain attachments. Maybe there's some new kind of kit loadouts that these players have been practicing with night vision. Who knows, truly, what sort of strategies we are going to see get deployed here this afternoon. But we do have a full roster ready to go. So I imagine we'll be diving into the action any moment. Take a look at our rosters for the day. Oh, we had a full roster, if you believe me. Coming in from Peacekeepers right now, we have Virus, Rushers, Destroyer, Diesel, and waiting on the 5th. And over on Resurgence, we have God of Shinobi, Varix, Ree, Chihuahua, and Rambo. 5th, we had a 5th. They ended up dropping out. Just hopefully a quick reconnect, and then we'll be diving in to our first round of the afternoon. Again, very interested to see how this goes. I think we're going to get a real good back and forth. Unless, of course, since the patch and since the changes in utility, we see, I don't know, variety in play. Maybe one team taking a couple of rounds in a row. I feel that we're likely to trade down rounds, but on a map like Bazaar, that's also somewhat questionable, as you could really plenty of opportunities for caps depending on objectives and play style, and we'll see. Canadian Jesus connects in for the 5th. Our first objective going to be the tank over in the northeast. That mini-map can be pretty hard to see much of anything on, unfortunately. But this is what the map looks like without our night vision. Very challenging to see much of anything here. So we're likely to stay on the night vision as we do dive into a kickoff of the series. Round number 1, Peacekeepers and Resurgence. Can their undefeated status? That is the question. Push phone. That is the question we're looking to ask here this afternoon. Barks, they're just discussing their choices. They're taking this. They're taking the tar, a very uncommon weapon choice, so that they can take 2 utility and night vision. Again, that decision-making process around what sort of kit can I take with the new loadout stipulations. Barks does get across Destroyer, obviously taking plenty of shots here. But ultimately not connecting on much of anything. Peacekeepers, meanwhile, sort of in a holding pattern here. They assess the situation. Canadian Jesus looking for any sort of info through the cracks. And I think they do identify Rambo here. Especially with night vision on, I imagine pretty easy to see if someone's peeking a dark corner. And out the gate, Shinobi catches Diesel, still putting shots down. Call it that they thought they downed him comes in from Virus, but it is not accurate.
This is what I was... And he rotated. Yep. He's in his courtyard now.
And a big pickup there to kick things off.
Not.
So far, it seems Peacekeepers thrown for an equal bit of a loop in terms of the loadout options, commenting on the lack of utility. Duo pretty successfully crossing the street, though, until they push farther south, where they will run into Ree. Otherwise, up through the middle may be one of the safer options. Meanwhile, Destroyer takes some shots over just into Varus' direction. He's just still tucked in northeast bazaar here. Wonder if they're going to cross the call. That's what that's what Virus was discussing. You know, is there no utility to cross here? And that seems to be the case. They've definitely identified. Oh, Destroyer just peeks it. They could have coordinated a double peek there to try and catch that out, but Destroyer goes down. Canadian Jesus calls out the rotation. And Rushers and Virus likely to hold and wait for the regroup. More Rushers will be running into Ree's line of sight. Very tucked in here on the quite tight corner, and Ree does catch the kill. Look at that tiny little brick they were peeking through to catch that angle. Really nice shot there. Confirming bullets coming in from Rambo. Where they've got that kill on down, and now it's up to the duo. Virus inside blue room. Shinobi hearing these call-outs, and Canadian G long rotation. We'll have to pull up the... I would pull up the mini-map, but it's currently a little inactive. It should be working after our next round, but for now we don't see much of anything there on that mini-map, and so we assume they're working their way around that west side over to the southwest corner. Eventually running into... About this time, they should have crossed the... There is that cross. Again, if they dive too far out into the south, they're going to run into the same issues Virus did with Ree on that corner there. Decides for me the longer rotation to cross the street. Again, very dark. Everyone should have night vision, so they stay on board. Virus and Canadian Jesus as Shinobi catches one. They're going to peek and look for another. Resurgence looking good in defense here. Round one coming down to 5 minutes time. They've killed 4, and Canadian G finds themselves alone. A party come back ahead of them. Tries to pre-fire the corner. But can't get him. And it sounds like someone maybe radioing in too much information. Shinobi yelling at his team. Action enough for Canadian Jesus. Cross is not checking their corner. Canadian is going to be able to grab a syringe and heal and then push out right into Carolina's sight. The panic from Resurgence a little bit too thick right now, especially with 5 alive, 30 seconds left. A solid job nonetheless. 0 kills from Peacekeepers. And that is a tough round 1 pill to swallow, especially on your map pick. Obviously for Resurgence, a perfect start to what is maybe a game of vengeance for them as they try and bounce back from this. Well, not bounce back, excuse me, but come back from a earlier loss in the season to Peacekeepers. Again, the loadout swaps, the map pick, it makes sense to me, again, that they go night vision to try and draw that night vision ability use out. Potentially throw off your opponent because very few teams historically played night vision. And historically, the night vision goggles didn't really impact your loadout very much. But we can tell here, just off of the discussions we're hearing with the kit selection, that it certainly is impacting their ability to take enough utility in the right guns, at least. So they kind of have to make one decision one way or the other on where they want to go. See how Peacekeepers do on defense. And this is Resurgence's map pick, and they certainly looked like they were comfortable on that defensive round. I see what their night attack looks like. Again, a dark day out there. But with night vision on, we can see a touch clear. Are looking at everyone else should be seeing a touch clearer as well. Virus, Canadian G, everybody should be running night vision. Be a surprise to see if there wasn't. On board the northeast swing. Not going to connect onto much. It is a bit more up through the middle.
He's only down though. I shot him in the leg, I think.
Rushers catches a kill.
I don't, fuck, I'm sorry.
Near the radio, and doesn't know the exact position.
I don't know how to call out.
But this is a very quick push, heavily stacked right up through the middle. Looking to charge. I was thinking potentially forward here, but Diesel is holding a late angle. Very late angle. They'll be able to take full control here. And actually, Diesel is tucked in. Yeah, they're tucked inside to the L. And so where is the defense on the south? The coverage there is Destroyer. That is it. Lost 1 that they had extended forward, and Resurgence really taking control very early of the space right next to the objective. Trying to clear out what a position they can see, and I don't think Destroyer has any information to work off.
Echo tree, guys, play slow.
Shinobi catches 1. Diesel does take shots. They've been staying camouflaged in. Destroyer goes down to some very nice shots on the corner. Diesel is here waiting.
Yo, Destroyer died.
Connects on the corner, then catches Diesel there. Everyone here is dead except for the lone attacker, Canadian Jesus. Rambo has the tablet out, and they're going to cap. Resurgence are hitting Peacekeepers with a 3-0, 1 death opening. Aggressive plays that end up working out very nicely. Catching that first kill right away. Couldn't identify the call-out position, but still nonetheless caught it. The rotation cross to the east side to distract Canadian Jesus, while everyone really just pushed up through the middle. They end up clearing out that south defense, which is big pickup there, and then obviously Diesel tries to defend, but push out and get aggressive there, and that is all four, or excuse me, where's the fourth? The east side must have killed one as well during that push. Because Canadian Jesus was the only one left alive. There wasn't a DC. Resurgence are, well, laying down the law here a little bit. 2 rounds, 3 points, all into the hands of Resurgence. We go into round number 3, game 1.
If you round reset the timeout, though. I don't know.
No, you just round reset,
You
switch
just
night
have
vision,
to
ready back up.
get your night vision, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone tucks in, and look at this, a full press from Peacekeepers. Smoke comes out to deny vision. Additional smokes for support on the cross. Everyone does make it successfully. 3 is going to be the first point of defense for this team. They're going to catch a kill. They're going to try and fly out. They catch another. That's 2. Can they drop down and catch the third? They're looking for a triple onto the destroyer. They catch it there. It's a trade, but it is 3.
2 should be dead. Someone come pick me up. We might be able to get the 3rd kill here.
Rushers is down in Resible. So it is only going to be 2. God of Shinobi is coming in to try and pick up Ree, and is here to try and pick up the kills. Rushers with a nice job defending. A very aggressive team here out of Resurgence, but they recognize that they have a very solid advantage here. Virus and Rushers, the only 2 remaining. Resurgence down to 3. I'll take that replay. Barring Varix doesn't catch any kills here down in the south. Gonna be a bit of time. On board Varix for now. They could be pushing forward here. See, they are. They're going to go on the hunt for the final 2. Rushers is there. Varix has an idea. Is the utility coming in? Is there any utility available? It is. A great flash. A beautiful flash. Catches both of them. A follow-up. Is that a nade? I think it is. What a beautiful play. We got to catch that one, too. We can't even look at the triple. Resurgence string together 2 great plays. Wow. Look at that flash to blind them both. The nade comes in, gun comes up, they tag Rushers on the corner, and then the nade finishes the job. Truly doesn't get much fancier than that. Resurgence, absolute dominate. 4 rounds in a row to take game number 1. Peacekeepers have to be doing a head scratch at this point and maybe resetting themselves mentally as we go to a very interesting map number 2. I have to do a quick technical. Bear with me, but Cargo is where we're headed. Oh, you have to go back. I gotta play that replay one more time. Again, a beautiful sequence of nades and an ultimate kill there to wrap it up off of what was a great triple to start things too, and ultimately a res, so it was technically a double kill, but still stopping that full cross in its tracks, anticipating it, then to crash back and support it like that. Very impressive job there. But map 2, worth discussion as I load in. Cargo is where we're headed. I can't believe that this map slips through the cracks or is even chosen here in such a high-tier matchup. This could be very technical or very fast, depending on how Resurgence do want to play this. And based off of what I saw there, I think Peacekeepers better be ready for a very quick map here. A very quick map. Because Resurgence played Bazaar with very little hesitancy to push forward. And I think they're going to see that on both offense and defense. And I think Resurgence picked this map because they're feeling so good off of that 4-0 on Bazaar. Again, this could be Peacekeepers' first loss in the season. 8 weeks of gameplay where they have remained undefeated.
Let's go.
Now we see their backs against the wall if they can pull a round out. Yeah, even a round, not necessarily the game, but a round. Start this comeback and eventually take game 2, take us to a game 3 decider. Smoke's coming in early. Oh, pretty nice toss there. That is going to ultimately deny vision on that cross. Virus won't have much. M203 smoke comes in. Chawai catches a kill over on the side. That's going to be a full kill. And look at the full smoke load coming in here down onto the objective. Peacekeepers, again, have to be ready for the quick play. Canadian Jesus goes down. God of Shinobi finds a kill. Virus swings. God of Shinobi finds another. Ree goes down in the backfield, and Rushers decides to apply some forward pressure to take control of the midfield. A trade on the back? No. And then a trade at the middle? Yes. Resurgence with 4 alive. Take their Marsoc round. This team running away with this game. And both of these teams master tier. Peacekeepers just seem to be getting caught out right now against this aggressive play style. Maybe they just haven't seen it in a while at this tier of gameplay. You know, maybe they're more used to a bit more methodical approach, but this Resurgence team is not afraid to push, and they are paying. It's paying off. They're catching early kills, early picks. At least a kill came through there for Rushers, but this Peacekeepers team is getting kind of shut out right now. As Resurgence, again, not kind of, have taken 5 rounds in a row. Back into it we go for round number 2. Resurgence charging forward 5 rounds to 0 against Peacekeepers.
You are an old man. Like a Rambo. Yeah, dude. The second you turn 19-year-old.
Early pre-fire there to try and suppress any crossing out the gate, but Chawai and Rambo have a plan. Double flashers up over the top. They peek corners. Recatches 1. There's the suppressive fire from Virus to get it 2 down, but Resurgence not necessarily as successful out the gate here. Early kills keep Peacekeepers in this one, and maybe finally an opportunity for them to get a round on the board. They should play this one methodically. The trouble is, of course, is this Shinobi can push up and catch the res onto Chawai. That's going to nullify one of those kills. And, oh, right as it comes in, Shinobi tries to get the res, but a great pickup there, confirmed from Rushers. Now Shinobi's trapped, and Canadian Jesus is going to find that kill.
33, 32, 32. Perfect.
Big pickups there. Resurgence down to 2. The aggression, again, not paying off this time, but Ree is positioned pretty far forward. This could pay off with 1 or 2 kills, depending on how cautiously they play it.
Tons of time to play off of.
How do they approach is the question. Does Virus snack with Jesus on this push? Holding a very, again, late angle. Flash is certainly a good option. Comes up and over. And Ree actually catches some rounds through the through the crates. They try to push forward.
31,
Canadian
31.
Jesus and Virus catch the kill. Varix now alone to defend this objective. Before in hand, it seems. No nade. Waiting to see if there's any aggression. Push forward. The flash comes out. Their utility. Tall order if they do want to push out now. It's a little late. Even more utility coming in. Rushers does get caught out. A nice pickup there from Varix. Going to be one more left for Peacekeepers to push forward with here. Virus on the outside gets identified, but they're ducked in behind some solid cover. And actually, they weren't identified. It was just very accurate pre-fire and guesswork from Varix there. Canadian Jesus swinging around the edge. Varix trying to dive deep around behind Canadian Jesus. They catch one. Virus is alone, and they cannot clutch it up. Varix with a near clutch play there, but a nice save coming in there from Virus. Keepers do get the W. Nice shot there from Canadian Jesus and Virus. Again, big plays on objective. Finds the kill. Marsoc round for Marsoc round. And Resurgence are right back in it. Oh, apologies for that. I did something too soon. All right, we're gonna have to do this. Can't see it. Ah, there we are. Finally on the board. Peacekeepers do get their first round. What was 5 unanswered points. Next objective, the diamond. I expect Resurgence to be looking for a cap here on this objective. So far, though, again, Resurgence really setting the pace. Smokes coming out in those first 30 seconds. M203 smokes coming in on cargo. Obviously practiced, you know, planned. Their utilities are coming in at the same time over the top to different locations, cover a wide area. Seeing very, very practiced play from this Resurgence team here, and it makes sense that they're doing as well as they are up against Peacekeepers. Again, though, Peacekeepers are undefeated so far this season. I don't imagine they want that streak to be broken here in the middle of it. And so they're going to battle for every round that we get here as we do go back into it. Round number 3. Flares come in, smokes come out. Lots of flashes, a heavy dose as Varix, Rambo, everybody being blinded. Rambo blinds themselves. And now they're really out in the open, but the push is still coming forward. Rambo charges in. Peacekeepers have plenty alive. Rambo catches one on the corner. Great pickup from the backside there. Rushers doesn't shut down Rambo in time, and thankfully Shinobi has the kill. Rambo calling out that they had the cap, but the kills come in an absolute blitz of utility from both sides. Resurgence take the Marsoc round, but barely. Wow. Again, the coordination, you know, those flashes all detonating at practically the same time. The point being there is you don't really have an option to try and react to one flash being here, another over there, and try and position yourself. It is just a full suppression of senses and completely blinding you for what could be multiple blinds. You know, if you then follow up with another flash, like we have seen. But again, aggression is the key word here for this Resurgence team and Peacekeepers. I don't know the best way to really counter it, other than maybe, you know, some well-placed nades. C4 certainly could be utilized here, because with an aggressive team, especially with C4, they tend to sort of overlook different, unique placements because they're so focused on pushing forward. Like in that particular play, I don't know where you would be able to get a C4 forward before you are flashed, but a C4 somewhere up space would certainly been effective. That team tried to charge forward, but regardless, Peacekeepers did take their Marsoc round. Let's see if they can do it again. Not out of the woods yet here for the likes of Resurgence.
So much as rushes.
No, I know. I'm saying the rush thing was 2 plays wide. They can still do
In the action we go. Trying to listen in on any of the comms here, discussions around strats, it seems. Rush play that Resurgence have been deploying. Maybe they're anticipating a counter rush here. Look at this, utility, nades. That's the kind of reverse aggression you could have deployed against the likes of Resurgence. That a nade toss like that would have gone a long way to shut down an aggressive push up through the center. But interestingly enough, Peacekeepers did anticipate this play. When those nades started to come in, it was alarm bells to this offense.
First can't hit him. He's fucking
And Resurgence have gained info because of it. Because now they've managed to sort of clear out the center effectively, push forward into a position where at least one of them can try and identify any movement on one side of the map. They likely have another on the other side waiting for the push, but you have their line now set and established without counter pressure. That, of course, could change very quickly with a couple of well-coordinated nades coming in from Peacekeepers. They don't necessarily have any commanding coverage up through the center. It is free for Peacekeepers to advance, push up through those cargo crates. But Destroyer buying time, tossing the tablet, it very much seems like the strategy for Peacekeepers is slow them down. Force them to be slow. Use of utility that does come in, a nice long-range nade. That catches God of Shinobi. There's no follow-up off of it, though. So the cost of that utility nets them with Rambo being a bullet away from death and Shinobi out a syringe. Is that worth it? Well, we'll see. Rambo trying to put out some fake callouts there. Very curious what this Peacekeeper strategy is going to be like once they deploy it here. The smokes are in. More utilities coming out. Chawai could swing and be a threat. They're not cautious in covering that side. Seem to have sort of...
I hit the fucking rail.
Yeah, they're really not watching our east side. That focus is obviously up on the push, and a great flash onto Rambo pushes them back. Chawai and Destroyer go down. Canadian Jesus catches one. Rushers catches another on the backside. But because the nade up the middle, it slowed down the initial push through the center, and so Virus and Diesel are sort of stuck. While Canadian Jesus and Destroyer do make their advance now. The suppressive fire coming in, drawing the attention. Shinobi does catch one, re-catches another. Quick trade of players. Where is the push? Not coming in from Peacekeepers. A lot of setup. Ultimately not the ability to act across this street. Nades, smoke. Flank. Shinobi almost catches one through a very tight corner. And Jesus tries to swing, and Shinobi is ready. Ree finds the final kill on the edge. It gets confirmed there by Varix, potentially, and Resurgence take another round. 3-1 here on map number 2. Realize I have the wrong score. Watching back the replay there, Rambo flashing themselves as they are so heavily flashed by, I think, their own team's grenades. Shows you how aggressive you can potentially get there. Resurgence, though, back on the attack, and speaking of aggression, I anticipate more of it. It's been the flavor of the day for them and been working very well against Peacekeepers.
Sure, little man. Sure, little boy.
I did this last time. I worked 933
Yeah.
43
You wish you didn't.
Ah, screw off. Let's go, guys.
Oh, I have miniatures.
Charging forward, smokes, flares, very similar sort of play that we saw earlier. The counter smokes coming in, the flashes up over the top, kills everywhere as the plays come very quick. Resurgence diving forward here on the corner. Virus trying to shut it down with LMG fire. Rambo's gonna walk into it. Gets very confident. Gonna try and swing here, and there's a kill onto the corner there. Got a Shinobi right up the middle. Tablet comes out, but is it too quick? Destroyer still holding a deep angle onto the objective, and that's gonna get locked in by Chawai as they swing the corner. 4-1. Resurgence take map number 2. Blink and you would have missed it. Map 3 looks like we're headed to Tanker. Stay on to that close quarters theme of this afternoon. Choice from, I wonder, again, if they're trying to throw off with night vision. Peacekeepers have both chosen into the darker maps. Obviously not working out so great on Bazaar, but maybe Tanker will be the solution. We appreciate everyone stopping by and hanging out. Called Crowd Tune tonight with what is a very good game here. Peacekeepers, they are going to take their first loss of the season. They made it 8 weeks until they ran into Resurgence again for round 2, and I don't know, this Resurgence team, it very well could be sort of setting a different pace for the Master Tier. Peacekeepers obviously looking to bounce back and potentially take a map of their own. Using into Tanker, we'll see what they get. Night vision on for better views for us, especially up at the top. Our first objective going to be that back or Spern. Varix is aggressive on defense. Flash is coming in. Virus is hot, but I think Varix also was as well. They're going to tuck in, potentially catch Destroyer and Virus on this peak. There's one. Destroyer almost goes down as well. That was almost a collateral there. Nice pickup there from Rushers. Good coverage.
One's left side, one's
on the other side. Opens up the push. Got a Shinobi. Is extended forward here. Canadian is looking for more. The Shinobi says no thank you. Shutting down the push on the corner. Diesel's there, trying to advance. Bree catches one on a flank. More shots coming at Diesel. Shinobi pushing forward. Diesel absolutely suppressed by 2. A nade does come in, and Shinobi tries to dodge the flash, and I think they do, but it does no use. Again, 3 dialed in there. Bree and was that other that found the kill? I think Rambo all had eyes in. Resurgence playing a confident game as they go up 1-0. Peacekeepers just having a tough time getting kills in rounds here. Again, it's that aggression that Resurgence are deploying. We're just not seeing Peacekeepers. Well, I guess they're in some ways trying to throw aggression at aggression, you know. It's a utility come up and over early through the center from both sides. Back into it we go, though, for round number 2. Resurgence and Peacekeepers absolutely duking it out here. Bella 2 top squads. dive down to the basement. An interesting deployment. They're likely to try and come up through the underground, but depending on the spread,
Get on bail after this to stroke my ego a little bit.
could be into trouble there. Rushers and Virus are going to push out onto the corner quick. They're going to run into 1-2. Ree and Shinobi down just like that. Lost one on the back, but that's how you swing a corner as a team. You send two around, one on the short, one on the far. Resurgence losing a couple early, but the over-aggression there from Rushers ends up countering.
-3.
1 for 1 there. Resurgence end up taking a 2-1 advantage. Diesel alone on the objective. Oh, and interestingly enough... Wait, what happened there? Oh, I want to say Diesel entered in the code. I want to say Diesel entered in the code and ended the round. Otherwise it bugged and somehow the round ended up going into Resurgence's hands for no reason, but I think that's what they did. I think they walked up to the objective as the last one alive and said, hey, I'm in a 1v5. There's not really a good solution to this. And I've never seen it in a league match. So it is maybe why I'm a little bit surprised that could have been what happened. Otherwise it was a bug, but I think that happened on purpose. The first for everything, and you know, every season I get surprised. Certainly is a interesting way to end the round. That's what they did. Resurgence. If you're on defense, you can enter in a code to lose the round by 1 point and defuse, quote unquote, your objective, so that the other enemy team can't get 2 points on a cap. And Shinobi experiencing phenomenon of impenetrable glass. Say that 10 times fast.
The flashlight.
Gonna get a round. Boogie boogie.
They're
Boogie
downstairs.
boogie.
Night shield coming in.
Flashlight.
I don't think I've seen anyone use a riot shield in a very long time. Eric flies the corner though and catches a quick double. Canadian Jesus trying to defend. Not exactly having the time. No Shinobis there. Canadian Jesus comes up from the underground, the stairs, and catches them. Diesel does flash their own teammate, but the two now together on the attack. Resurgence down to 3. Varek's going to call that down to just 1. Diesel now on the tight corner. Varek's not expecting a second to be there. Chawai is going to gather the information off of that kill, and they're going to look for the kill, and they're going to find it. 3-0. Impressive to see Resurgence playing so well off of, again, what was a early in the season a loss to this team. You know, Peacekeepers were not able, or were able to beat them 3-4, 3-4 in 2 maps to take their first game in, I think, week 3. But, yeah, obviously not the case here. Peacekeepers may only end up getting 1 point if they can't end up finding anything here on their next defensive round. Hold down this objective that is up on the top floor. Definitely a harder objective to properly defend, especially with a team that's as aggressive as Resurgence. And at this point, morally, I imagine Peacekeepers feeling very demoralized. So we're really seeing good coordination from Resurgence, great utility use, heavy utility use flashes, smokes, nades coming in for kills. What you'd expect out of a team that's in the master tier, and let's see if they can lock in another round. Go into the action.
No, it's because someone bumped my light stream.
My smokes are the best, trust me. Want to see a perfect smoke?
Looks like Peacekeepers are going to try and throw aggression at aggression again. It does work with a nade and a kill onto the side. Rambo comes flying in from the back, though, and they're going to cap. No one's here on objective. Resurgence are going to take this 5-0 off. Otherwise was a decent idea from Peacekeepers. But, yeah, Rambo has made it past the team from the underground, and ultimately they're going to take a very big map 3, 5-0. Quick look at the KDs: 3-3, 5-3, 3-3, 1-0, and 4-1 coming in there from the Resurgence side. And I tell you what, this was not the game I was expecting this afternoon. Peacekeepers just putting up a non-contest against what was consistent aggression from Resurgence. They just could not find a way to battle it back. Kept losing kills, losing picks early, and when they did try and counter it on cargo, they found success. The one time that they actually deployed a proper counter to an aggressive team, where they didn't just fling themselves into it, they found a win, but then they went back to insanity, as you would say. The definition being, you do that the same thing over and over again, despite it not being successful. So, either way, a fun series to tune into and a quick one. I can't believe how fast that was. Actually, in under an hour, we wrap up 3 maps. Again, the pace. That might be a record, actually. Especially at this tier. Definitely has to be a record for the master tier. Well, we'll be jumping into some more games this weekend, likely back onto venues if you do want to check that out. I would encourage you to go on over to your Quest or Quest 2 and download Verizon venues right now so you can be ready for it on the weekends. We'll also have Echo Arena games over there. And so we are returning with regular season games to venues, so do keep your eyes peeled. That's all I got from me this afternoon. A big shout out to all the folks that, again, were tuning in. A shout out to our sponsors, VR Cover, Pro2 VR, and obviously VRML for supporting the Onward VR Master League. Arma and VRware as well as our merch sponsors. We appreciate everybody that does play in the league and does come in and hang out here. And that's it. My name is Ben, NightFiree with 2 E's. Till next time, stay classy.